Yeah, and I like to think of our journey as this huge staircase,
Yeah.
never-ending staircase. People think of it. I used to talk about it as buildings and levels in a building,
Yeah.
but I think of it more now as a staircase because what we tend to do is look for the highs at each platform. You know, you go up the stairs, you get to the platform, and you go into the door to that level. And let's say each time you get to that platform, you get a big aha moment.
Yeah.
And we only look for those aha moments, and we don't think about the other. You know, you're talking about nourish yourself at every moment. But every step we take, if you think of the staircase, every step is a step forward.
Yeah.
And sometimes those steps may not feel that great.
Yeah.
But if we remember that even when we get triggered, it's a step forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's giving us a chance to heal something, to acknowledge something, to become aware of something. And if we think of everything like that, and we take these little steps, then after a few of those steps, or many of those steps, you get to a platform. Aha! You know, that's what it's all about. And we might live there, we might go into that floor and live at that level for a while. You know, and then we'll come back on and we start the next level. You know, and we go up those steps, but we negate those steps.
Yes.
Because the universe only gives you what you're ready to work on. You're not going to get more than that. You're going to get what it is you need next. So the day may be mundane, but if you're conscious about it, and if you look at your triggers, you know, big ones, little ones, whatever, and you are open to what's coming, then you've taken that step.
Yeah.
You know, and it may not be a big step today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow may be a bigger step.
Yeah.
You know, but every day you can wake up and go, or every night you can go to bed and say, wow, I've done it.
Yeah.
I did today. You know, it was hard today, it was hard, but I did it.
Yeah.
You know, and wake up the next morning and go, bring it on.
Yeah.
You know, and even just that, morning and night will make a huge change.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're looking at the staircase. Sometimes we go back down. Is that? I mean, sometimes I feel like sometimes I've gone up and suddenly if we're using the staircase as a...
I don't think we ever go back down.
No.
I think we revisit things.
Okay.
And they seem like the same thing, but we never see it from the same place.
Okay.
Because, okay, X triggers you, and you blow up and you have a tantrum and blah, 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 as we do. And then you go home that night and you go, wow, that was really unconscious, or I blew that one, or however you think about it.
Yeah.
The next time that happens, you cannot be in the same place because you've already thought about it once. You may blow up again, but then the rhetoric isn't the same. The rhetoric is, oh, I did it again. Oh.
Yeah.
And it may take you 10 times of doing it again until you acknowledge, but you're not on the first one. You're on the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one, and each time you see it a little differently.
Yeah. So important really is the acknowledging.
Yeah.
Just like to acknowledge the awareness of the fact
The
that
awareness.
you were triggered, or that there is a repetitive behaviour, is that, I guess what I'm trying to sort of establish is that awareness the start of
everything.
Yes.
The awareness comes
yeah,
first,
yeah.
because often what will happen is you get triggered.
Yeah.
And then you may have to come read a book or come to a session like this, and you go, oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And you get the awareness. The next time it happens, you don't have to go anywhere, but later that night or whenever you go, oh yeah, that's what that was, I remember.
Okay.
And then it happens again next week, and you think about it 10 minutes later this time.
Yeah.
Not at the end of the day, it was 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then it happens again, and you go, oh, I did it again. I wasn't going to do that again. And the next time it might happen where you're in the middle of it and you're thinking, oh, why am I doing this? And then the next time it's triggered, you go, and you're thinking what to do, and then the habitual habit comes out again. But each time you see it's a bit closer. And then eventually you get to the point where something happens and we're into shift number 2, choosing to choose. You make a different choice. But it doesn't happen straight away.
Yes. Yeah, no, fair enough, fair
You
enough.
know.
So, so if, because I mean, often we get in, we repeat things without even realising we're repeating things.
Mm-hmm. But the awareness is your way out.
Yes, yes. So just first becoming aware of the fact that I'm repeating it. So that's even just acknowledging I'm here again, even if you're not looking for an answer or a solution or self-reflecting. The fact that you realise, sorry, I'm just trying to,
Yeah.
so the fact that you actually realise that this is something that keeps happening, that's
the first step.
basically.
Yeah. And then you can look for, what is it telling me?
Yeah.
What is this saying? What is it about me? Because then, shifts 4 and 5, it's always about me and it's never about me. What is it about me that I'm getting triggered by this? Because if it's coming up, it's because it's in me being triggered and it's ready to be released. So what is it in me that is actually being triggered? What am I feeling? What is true for me now? It's one of the exercises, right? What is happening?
Yeah.
But it starts with the awareness that, this is happening over and over again.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Yeah.
And then you can just start sitting with that feeling. Once you identify the feeling, there's a deep sadness here, or there's an anger, or whatever the feeling is, you can then start sitting with that feeling, and more will come. Sometimes that's enough. You just sit with it and it's gone. It's like, but more than likely, then more will come. You get to understand it more and more and more.
And that is, I know you've said that to me before, and it makes a lot of sense to me. But what I've noticed is that there is a lot of pain inside me, wherever that's coming from. I've talked about that often, this feeling, and I actually physically feel it, And what I've actually now become aware of is that I suppress that. I'm scared of it. I don't actually want to sit with it.
There's the key. And the trick is to sit with it without owning it. You don't have to find out where it's from. You don't have to find out who did what. You don't have to own the pain. You just want to sit with pain.
Yeah.
And just sit there and feel it. And see what comes. Often that's all you have to do. Just feel it. Breathe with it. Acknowledge that it's there. Say the I love yous, which is giving yourself permission to feel it and let it go. And eventually, especially in this energy, quite quickly, it will dissipate. But you have to be brave enough to sit in the pain.
Okay. And that is, because I can even feel it now, just acknowledging that it's there. I can feel it building in me and the tears coming. But yes, that is going to be a challenge for me. I need to, because and immediately I can feel my want to just, everything's okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, we can do it here. Not necessarily today, but we can do it here. We can do it in with the energy work as well. Where you just sit with that and let it go. It's a safe place. So,
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I think for me a lot is because I it's almost an ego thing, but I have this idea that I need to, there is only me.
Right.
And so I need to be in control at all time. And so allowing myself to be weak, it's a vulnerability, I don't really know.
Well, that's very interesting because people think of them as the same, vulnerability and weakness, and they're not. They're actually opposites. Because when you're weak, the way that I see it, when you're weak is when you're hiding. Right? You're not going to allow yourself to be seen.
Yeah.
When you're vulnerable, it's when you make yourself an open book.
Yeah.
And you say, here I am. The good, the bad, the ugly, scars and all. And then you're in your power. Yeah. Because no one can do anything. You've shown them your dirty laundry. So what can they do, say,
Yeah.
So you want to be vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said that's because I think there's certain things I don't mind being vulnerable about, but I do still think there's a lot of me that's
Hiding.
and that's where I feel weak.
Yeah.
Because fear of exposure, I suppose. Somehow it's like so it is just So that makes sense.
Yeah. And another element of that is where you put the power.
Yeah.
Is the power in the universe? Is the universe looking out for you? Things might be tricky, but in the long run, is that where you have to go?
Yeah.
And when you kind of shift your power and you trust that everything is happening for you and not to you, then it makes it a little bit easier to take that step.
Yeah. And that's because that's a difficult step to take.
It's really hard.
And at the end of the day, it is just a choice. It's a choice that you have to make.
Yeah.
Is it a leap of faith?
Exactly. It is a leap of faith. Have you seen any of the Indiana Jones? Do you like those? I can't remember which one it is, but he's going for one of the relics. Yeah. And he has to step into this chasm, and as he steps, the bridge appears. I always think of it that way. Because we don't know what's there. We don't know what's going to come, but we can know that the universe will take care of us. As rough as a ride will get, it's there for us. And so we have to take that, as you say, that leap of faith. We have to take that step into the chasm and find that invisible platform underneath us and walk along it.
So that's a big challenge.
For all of us. And we all have the things that we're hiding. It takes a long time before you can let everything go. Yeah. And even when you have, as you say, things come around and around and around, even when you have let everything go, something comes around again, you go, oh really? And it's ongoing. It's never ending. Yeah. It's not like, we're talking about the third, the fourth, and the fifth, but that's just our interpretation of these energies. It's never ending. There's a sixth, and there's a seventh, and there's an eighth, and there's a ninth, and who knows how many dimensions and levels and staircases and floors. So we just keep going day by day, moment by moment. Taking those steps, those leaps of faith. Trusting that the universe will be there.
It totally resonates. I certainly, they'll be holding myself back a lot with it. And it's fear again, isn't it? It's fear. Yeah.
That's why I love the Awakening series. Because then there's a group that we're accountable to each other, and we can go away and say, how did it go? And then past the Awakening series, we have the tribe that we want to start up, where it's just this ongoing. And the series is 7 weeks, and it's an intensive. But the tribe is just an ongoing group of us that will just meet in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a platform like Facebook, it won't be on Facebook, but a platform like Facebook, or whether we have weekly Zoom meetings, Q&As, or both.
Well, I think that's huge about, because I've said to you before, it's often difficult to find or have these conversations with people who sort of understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And it would be like a tribe is really, really nice word as well, to have. We're all on our journey, but people who understand that, and we're all at different places, and people who you can just talk.
Yeah, and help each other, because I remember I was there and I did that, and so that's what Anne and I trying to put together, and it's coming soon. We've tried to